happiest memories as a science teacher were when my students dared to question me. If I said something crazy like, the sun is a giant nuclear reactor, I loved when they would respond, how do we know that? Science often challenges our intuitions with strange ideas, like the roundness of the Earth or the Big Bang. Since all of us can't verify these claims by launching to space or traveling back in time, are we really expected to believe scientists just because they are so-called experts? I don't think so. Humans figured out these things about space without the help of astronauts or space telescopes. For thousands of years, most of our scientific advances have been made by everyday people on the ground, paying attention to the evidence around them, whether the position of the stars in the sky or the sounds of radio static. Even today, everyone has the right to observe the world and contribute to our shared body of knowledge. Science empowers each person to know for themselves both what is true and how they know it. This actually isn't how my younger self related to science. Though I consider myself a decent science student, I struggled with science fair projects. What could I possibly study that wasn't already known? Looking back on it now, I realized I believed truth wasn't meant to be found by ordinary people like me, but to be received from those who knew better. The facts were to be found by the professionals, and my job was to learn from them. This deference to authority crippled my imagination in all facets of my life. I thought that to positively impact humanity, I just needed to fulfill the duties expected of me. I would set aside my fascination with astronomy and pursue a typical medical career, because in my mind, that was the most practical way to help people with science. It didn't matter that I was attracted to men. I prayed I'd find a wife and leave behind the legacy of biological children. Explicitly and implicitly, my community convinced me that there were no unanswered questions or unsolved problems. If I stayed in my lane, I would have done what I could for the world. When I finally understood science and began to think for myself, though, a whole universe of possibilities opened up for me. To start, I learned that my career didn't have to follow a set path. Just as we wouldn't know about the solar system if Galileo hadn't repurposed telescopes for stargazing, society wouldn't improve if people never tried new things. I began to search for an avenue to merge my passion for space with my practice of family medicine, and I quickly found the aerospace medicine field. I discovered that my dream job was to care for astronauts as a flight surgeon, especially as the commercial sector takes off and NASA gears up to send humans to the moon and Mars. In the last few years, I've attended aerospace medicine conferences and webinars, trained for a private pilot license, and become scuba certified. I even completed an internship at NASA Johnson Space Center, where I conducted trend-setting research on space motion sickness and got behind-the-scenes tours and lectures designed for prospective flight surgeons. I can't wait to undergo formalized aerospace medicine training so I can continue participating in shaping the trajectory of this growing industry. Science also prepared me to come out to myself and see that traditional heterosexual marriage wasn't the only way to care for future generations. Besides devoting resources to raising my own children, I have the option of focusing on social outreach or activism. As diversity chair of the Aerospace Medicine Student and Resident Organization, I have led initiatives promoting diversity in the specialty, resulting in our first Black scholarship recipient. With the climate crisis escalating, I have worked with action groups to advocate for critical policies. I've produced a podcast to educate the public on health topics like CPR and COVID-19. And particularly near to my heart, I've helped create a special ed astronomy curriculum and spent a year teaching chemistry and biology to homeschoolers. These science fair projects, I might add, won pretty much all the awards. In the 21st century, no openly gay man has yet flown to space, and the LGBTQ+ astronauts that we know of weren't out when they were selected. Whoever is chosen by out astronaut would have the privilege and responsibility to show minorities of all colors that science belongs to everyone. As someone who has been freed by the light of science, I hope to have that honor of unlocking its power for countless others.